Looks like we got one last gatekeeper making it a sprint for the hill. I tell you what, this hill's a lot steeper walking up it than it is skiing down it. Big shout out to Mr. Gaylord. Thank you much for taking on that third position.
I think they both go at the same time. I know, but which one? Oh, boys are GS. Okay, thank you. Yeah, sorry, girls are slalom. They're together.
I just gotta send this list.
Yeah, watch me be wrong, but I think so.
They announced it.
Yeah, oh, slalom. Okay, that's
I think
what
it's for this year.
I think it's, yeah, backwards. I mean, backwards from last year because they switched.
At this point, I think ladies GS is starting, guys slalom starting. If you go to livetiming.com, you can get the list in order of who's racing when.
That's not a good sign with the finish timer. too.
Because the ones I all have, because I like
Okay, we have gatekeepers in position, timers are ready, and we are ready for our forerunners to hit the slopes. And we have our first forerunner on course. GS is running. Making a nice pass through there, and our forerunner comes through with a time of 22:23. That's a 22.23. We got a forerunner over on the slalom side. Should we see him just coming over the head wall? Got our first two racers, Anna Wolf from Binty Central and Bogan Russell, waiting for their starts up on top. This is our forerunner here on the slalom side. Nice steady run from our first forerunner on the slalom side. Coming through with a time of 46.69. That's a 46.69. We have another forerunner, slalom side, just on course. See her coming over the head wall in just a moment, waiting for a start over on our GS side. Brogan Russell will be our first racer on course. Get Brogan skiing from Clare. They've joined us tonight for the race, and it's always a lot more fun when you got more friends to play with. This is our forerunner over here on the slalom side, making a nice line through the flush. Over here on the GS, Brogan Russell working his way towards the finish and coming through with a time of 1988. That's a 1988. Broke that 20-second barrier on the very first run. Means we've got a fast hill tonight. This is Aiden O'Dwyer from Bincy on course. We got Anna Wolf waiting for her start up on top. Anna from Bincy Central on course for the slalom course. This is Aiden O'Dwyer working his way down, and Braden Sorensen waiting for his stop on top. Jenna Woodworth waiting for her stop up on top. Aiden coming through with a 1997. That's a 19.97. Two sub 20-second runs right off the bat on that course. It's going to be a fast night, folks. Over here on the slalom, Anna Wolf working her way towards the bottom. And Anna coming through with a time of 32.28. That's a 32.28. Jenna Woodworth from Clare on course. Braden Sorensen from Onekama just coming through our finish line. Braden laying down another 19-second run. The fastest run of the night, 1944. So 1944 on course. Ethan Nowak from Glen Lake. Jenna Woodworth still working her way down the slalom course. Little problem there, she's missed a gate and she's going to have to do a little hiking, but she's still got her equipment on and she is hiking. GS, Ethan Novak, working his way to the finish line, coming through with a time of 20.98. That's a 20.98. Jenna has done the hard work, is back on course and working her way down to the flush.
Good job, Jenna.
And Jenna coming through with a time of 52.94. That's a 52.94. Mike Palmerville from Clare comes through with a 20.24. That's a 20.24. Ben Stoops waiting for his startup on top. Over here on the slalom side from Onekama, this is Aaliyah Blackmore on course.
Oh, yeah, she comes to it over like
And Lila Murray is waiting for her startup on top. Again, this is Aaliyah Blackmore working through the flush here, looking for the final run, and comes through with a time of 36.36. That's a 36.36. Currently has her in second place. From Glen Lake, this is Willa Murray. And over here on the GS, this is Ben Stoops from Bincy Central. Ben trying to break that 20-second barrier. Let's see if he makes it. He comes in at a 20.11. That's a 20.11. Over here on the women's side, Willa Murray working her way through the rhythm course, getting ready to take on that last flush. Savannah Peck from Bincy Central waiting for her start. Willa coming through with a time of 35.38. That's a, check that, 36.38. And Savannah Peck on course. Travis Huey from Onekama on course. Up there on top waiting for his start from Glen Lake, Colin Casbin. Just finishing up, Travis Huey, time of 20.72. That's a 20.72. Colin Casbin waiting for his start. Over on the women's side, this is Savannah Peck from Bincy Central, working her way through the rhythm. Cassidy Allen from Clare waiting for her start up on top. Savannah making a nice finish and coming through with a 35.78. That's a 35.78. Colin Casbin still waiting on his start up there on top.
he was running that course.
And again, Cassidy Allen from Clare waiting for her start. Checking real quick, the last racer through, Savannah Peck, that was a 35.78. And over on the men's side, Travis Huey from Onekama with a 20.72. And we have Colin Casbin entered the course. Colin is of our coach from Glen Lake, John Casvin. Big shout out to John for all of his help with the timing. All of our coaches are very involved in the sport between setting and doing all the other pieces that make racing a great high school sport. Coming through, Colin Casvin, 21.29. That's a 2:1.29. Ethan Rogers from Clare waiting for his start. Over on the women's side, that's Cassidy Allen from Clare on course. And Brecken Cotter from Onekama waiting for his start. Cassidy working through the rhythm there, coming through the flush and looking for that final speed. Coming through with a time of 35.62. That's a 35.62. Ethan Rogers waiting for his start up on top. And Brecken Cotter on course for the women.
No, it feels like my phone's in this log and my speed gets in that pocket.
This is Ethan Rogers from Clare on course in the GS course, and looking over at the slalom course from Onekama, Brecken Cotter on course. Brecken working through those rhythm courses, or rhythm section and into the flush. Unfortunately, we got a skier down in the GS, and he has lost his ski, which means that's going to end up being a DQ on that. Brecken comes through in the slalom course, though, with a 35.03. That's a 35.03. Jacqueline Hearn from Glen Lake on course. Ethan Rogers has had a little bit of issues on the hill. He's gathering his equipment, and we'll get that course up and running in just a moment. Unfortunately, Ethan is a DQ, although this is a conference race. We're going to give him a second run just so he gets to practice in. Won't get a final time tonight, but again, we will give him 2 runs. So Ethan, make sure you take that second run tonight. This is Jacqueline Hearn. Oh. Jacqueline catching a ski right on that final flush move. Jacqueline, you're getting the benefit of the doubt. They're saying that you made that last gate, so we're going to give you full credit for that. Again, it's 39.61 on that. We're going to err in the students' corner if we made a mistake. Benzie Central, Emily Facci on course. And over here on the men's side, from Benzie, Miles Luther. And this is Miles Luther looking for the finish and coming through with a time of 20.29. 20.29. This is Emily Fauci working her way to the finish line. Emily coming through with a time of 43.07. That's a 43.07. Luke Smith on course for Onekama. Waiting up on top for his start, Jaden Thompson from Glen Lake. On course in the slalom side from Clare, Serenity Baldridge. And waiting for her stop up on top from Onekama, Annika Haig. Jaden Thompson working his way down the GS. I think he's going to come through that finish line first. Jaden coming through with a time of 20.87. And just finishing on the slalom side, Serenity finishes with a 36.77. That's a 36.77. Romo Onekama, this is Annika Haag on course, and Tristan Strauss from Clare on course. Waiting for their start up on top, Keegan Payne from Benzie, and from Glen Lake, that's Bridget Duncan waiting for her start. Tristan Strauss coming through, 24.53, 24.53. Keegan Payne waiting for his start. Annika working her way through the rhythm section, getting ready to come into the flush here. Waiting up on top for her start is LaBridget Duncan from Glen Lake. Anna come through with a time of 45.63. That's a 45.63. Bridget Duncan on course, waiting for her stop on top. Mariah Mosier. And just finished on the men's side, Keegan Payne with a time of 29. 29.60. That's a 29.60. Entered the course from Winnequa, Jamie Roddy. And on deck, Glen Lake, Sacha Cabal. Over here on the women's side, Bridget Duncan on course and waiting for her start up on top, Mariah Mosier from Benzie Central. Bridget coming through with a 37.96, 37.96. Mariah on course. Ellie Skunk all waiting for her start. Sacha Gable waiting for our on course for GS. And Evan Campbell waiting for his start up on top. This is Sacha Cavell coming through on the GS course with a time of 24.89. Evan Campbell just entered the course up there, and Chase Comarack is waiting for his start. Over on the women's side, Mariah just finished up her run with a 36.88. Check that, 36.68. And from Claire, Haley Spunk on. From Onekama, Leah Thompson waiting for her run up on top. And this is Evan Campbell, who just finished on the GS side with a 24.85. Chase Camrack, I believe, is a no-show today, so I don't think we're going to be seeing a start from him. This is Leah Thompson, treeside, waiting for her start, while Haley Shunk is on course. Haley skiing for Claire and just finishing the flush and looking for the finish line. Coming through with a time of 39.20. Nano Anjari from Onekama getting ready for his start up there on top. And from Onekama also, Leah Thompson on the slalom course, just entered the course. Waiting for their stop on top is Willa Lampy from Glen Lake and Macy Duncan from Glen Lake. Nano working hard at the end there and coming through with a 22.25. That's a 22.25. And over on the slalom course, this is Leah Thompson working her way to the finish line. Up on top, Willa Lampy waiting for her start. Leah comes through with a 44.67. That's a 44.67. Macy Duncan on course on the GS side with Hogan Walter waiting for his start up on top. Finishing up, Mason Duncan with a time of 25.65. That's a 25.65. And over here on the slalom side, this is the Willa Lampy on course. Hogan Walters entered the course over on the GS side from Claire, waiting for his start up on top. Philip Putney from Onekama. Got a big shout out to our coaches. There's a fair amount of coach maintenance again needed tonight. The snow is not our healthiest snow. We've got a little bit of a problem on that GS side. He's got his equipment back on, but he has missed the gate. We'll see if he's going to hike it. He looks good to go and is back on course. Good effort from Hogan Walter from Claire. Hogan coming through 39.64, 39.64. This is number 42, Elsa Carter from Benzie Central on course in the slalom side. Finishing up over here on the GS side, Philip Putney. Philip coming through with a time of 23.78. That's a 23.78. From Claire, Jackson Bryant waiting for his start up on top. Simone Kitchley waiting for her start. And on course right now, Elsa Carter working her way through. Elsa coming through with a time of 42.48, 42.48. From Claire, Simone Kotchley on course, and Glen Lake, Ellen Grant waiting for the start. They were doing a little bit of course repair work over there on that GS course. We got a temporary hole. Jackson Bryant from Clare waiting on his start. Philip Putney, our last finish, with a 23.78. Again, doing a little course work over there on that GS course, so a slight delay in the action there. Finishing up though over here on the slalom course, Simone with a working through the slalom or through the flush here, and coming through with a time of 42.12. That's a 42.12. La Elena Grant waiting for her start on top. Just entered the course. Jackson Bryant still waiting for his start up on top. Althea Gaylord waiting for her start up on top from Benzie Central. And we got that chair side operational again. We should be seeing Jason Bryant enter the course in just a moment. This is LNF from Grant from Glen Lake, working her way to the finish line. Coming through with a time of 47.82. That's a 47.82. From Benzie Central, Althea Gaylord on course. Jackson Bryant working his way towards the finish line here. Up on top, waiting Landon Tennant from Onekama. Jackson finishes 24.26, 24.26. Landon Tennant has entered the course, and Preston Bailey waiting for his start up on top. This is Althea Gaylord. Somewhere on the slalom course, we haven't seen her come down yet. Clock is running. She might be down up there in the shadows of the top of the hill. Landon Tennant coming through with a 22.53, 22.53. Preston Bailey from Clare waiting for his start. We're still waiting for Althea Gaylord to see if she comes out there. She is coming over the head wall. Obviously a little bit of issues up there on top, but she looks like she's got her skis on and is making the run. Preston Bailey from Clare on course. Jeremiah Quisk from Onekama waiting for his start. And this is Althea Gaylord working her way to the finish line. Althea coming through with a 1:20.79. That's a 1:20.79. Chloe Wesson from Clare waiting for her start up on top. Chloe on course. Preston Bailey on course and finishing up. Dawson Aldrich waiting for his start up on top. Preston finishing 27.79, 27.79. And that's Dawson Aldrich, who has just entered the course. Waiting for a start up on top, Reese Teal from Onekama. And over here on the women's side, Chloe Weeson from Clare on course. And waiting for her stop up on top, from Onekama, Bianca. And unfortunately, we got a racer down. It's got his equipment on, and it looks like he's going to be hiking. This is Dawson Aldrich. Dawson Aldrich. And unfortunately, Dawson's going to be a ski out. Remember, this is a conference race. We do give you a second run just to give you the practice in. So, again, even though you won't get a final time, Dawson, feel free to take that second run up there. Silas Donaldson on course, ready to enter the course from Clare. Now he's on course. Jace Jolly, also from Clare, waiting for his start. Over on the women's side, this is Bianca Rosito. And Annabelle Ackley from Glen Lake, waiting for her start up on top. Chloe finished with a 44.01. this is Silas Donaldson coming through with a 28.39. That's a 28.39. Silas racing on the B team for Claire, and that puts him in first place, but only on the B team. Chase Jolly also on course, and James Bond waiting for his start up on top. All three of these male racers for Claire are on their JV team. They'll be scored, but not scored against the high schoolers. Onekama just finished with Bianca a time of 49.45, 49.45. Also from Glen Lake, Annabelle Ackley on course. Chase Jolly making his way to the finish line here. Jay's coming through with a time of 32.91. That's a 32.91. James Brown getting ready for his start. And just finishing up on the tree side, that was Annabelle Ackley. 51.19, it's a 51.19. Annalise Hansen from Claire on course. And James Brown, one of our last skiers over here on the GS side on first run, will take a break and get going again with that. But again, James Brown, our second to the last skier for our boys over there on that GS course. James skiing from Claire. And Elijah Wentworth is waiting for his start up on top. Finishing up over here on the women's side, Annalise Hansen with a time of 53.07, 53.07. Holly Riley on course. And Abby Boyd from Claire waiting for her start up on top. And that was James Brown coming through with a 32.24, 32.24. And Elijah Wentworth waiting for his start. That should be the last skier on the boys' side for that first run. Again, first run, all boys. If you've not taken that run, you've got 2 minutes to get up there. Otherwise, you're going to miss your first run. On the women's side, though, this is Holly Riley, and she is working her way towards the finish line. Holly coming through with a 44.94. That's a 44.94. Abby Boyd on course here, working her way to the finish line. Looks like we've got a last male racer to be added to our race course. We'll get him in and get things going over there. Abby Boyd finished up 46.68, 48.68. And from Onekama, this is Piper Putney on course. And that looks like it was Brooklyn Zinko. Brooklyn coming through with a 112.36. It's a 112.36. Piper Putney came through 49.41. We've added one new racer to our men's side, and we'll get him on course in just a moment. And this is Sydney Bentley on course on the tree side. Still working on entering the contestant over there on the GS side. We got one last competitor over there, and we will be flipping things over. And we have Riley Smith waiting up on top of that clear side. Again, working on adding one last competitor over on that GS side. We're just about ready to go again. And this is Mr. Teal, our latest entrance, coming through with a 20.38. That's a 20.38. Looks like Riley Smith working her way through the flush, but she might have missed a gate up there in the shadows. We're not looking or seeing anything from our gatekeepers. I don't see anyone with a DQ sign up on the hill, so I'm assuming that was a clean run by our racer, Riley Smith. Whoop. Check that, they did see up on top that she did miss the first couple gates. So Riley Smith, unfortunately, a DQ. From Anekama, Megan Bentham on course. finish line. Megan coming through with a time of 101.67. That's a 101.67. Kendall Parsons waiting for her start. Boys side has got an open chute. We'll be doing some course repair over there and get ready for the second run. This is Kendall Parsons on the slalom side. And still waiting to see Kendall up there coming into the lights out of the shadows at the top of the hill. Sounds like she's doing a little hiking at the crest. Here, let the coaches make sure both courses are skiable, and we will get ready to start with the second run. All skiers, I'm assuming you should be heading back up to the top of the hill. This is our last female competitor of the first run. Kendall getting ready to come through the finish line, and Kendall finishes with a 1:26.84. 1.2684.
What?
All skiers, top of the hill. All skiers, top of the hill. We are ready to run the second run. Again, all skiers, top of the hill. Both courses have been inspected by coaches. They are ready to rock and roll. So if we can get all skiers back up to the top, remember your running orders have reversed. Again, we're looking for all of our competitors back up to the top of the hill for run 2. After that first run on the boys' side, top place from Onekama with a time of 19:44 was Brandon Sorensen. Brogan Russell from Clare chasing him down with a 19:88. And our other sub-20-second run this afternoon was from Benzie Central, Aiden O'Dwyer with a 19:97. Over on the women's side, fastest run down on that first run was from Anna Wolf with a 32:28. She's chased down the hill by Bretton Cotter with a 35:03. And also from Onekama, sorry, I lost my screen on that last competitor. But we are back to running here, and this is Willa Murray taking her second run. They didn't switch them. I've been told they didn't switch the orders, so we'll just keep track of who's there, and I'll be sure to let you know who's on the hill. That's Braden Sorensen over there on GS, and Willa Murray, who just finished on slalom. Willa coming through with a 37:04. 37:04. Aaliyah Blackmore from Onekama waiting for her start. Ethan Nowak, check that. Aiden O'Dwyer waiting for his start. Braden Sorensen finished his second run with a 19:75. That is a 19.75. Currently has him in first place. This is Aaliyah Blackmore working her way through the shadows and coming down through the rhythm section of the course. And here's Aaliyah coming through with a time of 34:85, 34.85. From Benzie Central, Emily Fauci waiting for her start. Aiden O'Dwyer on course and coming through with a 23.9. That's a 20.39. Brogan Russell waiting for his start up on top. Brogan, our cadre of 3 young men who had that sub-20-second runs. Again, from Clare, Brogan Russell waiting for his start up on top. Emily Fauci, though, is on course on the slalom course, working her way through the rhythm section. This is Brogan Russell on course, and Colin Casbin waiting for his start up on top. on another really fast-looking run and coming through with a 1973. That's a 1973. Fastest second run of the evening so far. A 1973 for Brogan Russell. From Glen Lake, Colin Casbin waiting on his start. Anna Wolf working her way through the rhythm section over here on the slalom side. Jacqueline Hearn up on top from Glen Lake waiting for her start. Travis Huey from Onekma also waiting for his start up on top. Anna Wolf coming through with a 33.87, 33.87. And Jacqueline Hearn just entered the course. Emily Pochi. Check that, it's not Emily waiting for her start up on top, but Jacqueline is on course. And Brecken Cotter is waiting for her start up on top. Travis Huey on course on the GS side, and Colin Casbin. Ben Stoops waiting for his start. Again, Colin Casbin's second run, 20.73. That's a 20.73. And from Onekma, Travis Huey just finishing up, 20.57. That's a 20.57. Ben Stoops waiting for his start up on top. He is on course. Travis Huey on waiting. And Onekma, Brecken Cotter waiting for her start. Just finished. Jacqueline Hearn with a time of 39.65. 39.65. Brecken on course. And Ben Stoops on course. Ben coming through with a 20.03. That's a 20.03. Mike Palmerville on course. And Jaden Thompson waiting for his start up on top. This is Brecken Cotter over here on the slalom course. Got a little bit of a slide out here on the GS side. That is Mike Palmerville from Clare, who's got his gear on, but gonna need to do a little hiking to get back on course. That is a legal pass, and he is back even with a little slower time than he might have liked, but with a finish. 37.65, that's a 37.65. Jaden Thompson waiting for his start up on top. And it looks like we have Cassidy Allen, number 44, on course from Clare. And over on the men's side, that's Jaden Thompson waiting for his start. Savannah Peck sitting up on top waiting for her start from Bitsy Central. And Tristan Strauss from Clare also waiting for the start up on top. This is Cassidy Allen working her way to the finish line. Cassidy coming through with a 38.06, 38.06. And Savannah Peck from Bitsy just entered the course. Jaden Thompson coming through with a time of 21.18. That's a 21.18. From Onekma, Luke Smith just entered the course. And over on the women's side, this is Savannah Peck working her way down through the rhythm. Coach is doing a lot of extra work tonight to keep these courses skiable, and again, a lot of work, but a lot of appreciation for our coaches as they not only train, but make it safer for all our athletes during the racing time. This is Savannah Peck coming through with a time of 37.81, 37.81. And Luke Smith just finished up 21.19. That's a 21.19. Jaden Thompson, 21.18. That's a 21.18. Who was 52? And we've got that GS course ready to go again.
That's weird how we're hiding on the girls' side. So,
If we can't have you head back up for a rerun on that, sorry about that. Our last racer, if we can have you back up for a rerun. Again, on the giant slalom side, we just had a finisher. If we can have you back up to the top for a rerun, that'd be great. This is Jamie Riley on course. And Jamie Riley coming through with a 28.48. That's a 2:1.48. And this is Keegan Payne waiting for his start. Annika Haig waiting for our on course for Onekama. And this is Anka on course, taking her second run. Over on the men's side, that's Keegan Payne from Benzie Central on course.
Come on, Annika! Woo!
And just finished up, Annika with a time of 46.52. That's a 46.52. Just entered the course, Serenity from Claire on course, and Emily Fauci, it says, is waiting for her start. Keegan Payne finished up with a 29.48. That's a 29.48, and Tristan Strauss is waiting for his start up on top. And this is Serenity from Claire working her way towards the finish line. And Tristan Strauss, it should be on course on the GS course. Serenity with a time of 43.26. That's a 43.26. We still haven't seen signs of our GS racer. Caught up there in the shadows, perhaps. We've heard rumors down here that he is hiking. There you go, I can see him in the dark. He is back on course. And this is Tristan Strauss with a little extra work. Gets a second race, or second finish. It's a 54.05. 54.05. Macy Duncan from Glen Lake waiting for his start. And Nana Anjara waiting for his start up on top. This is Macy Duncan on course. And it says Emily Fauci taking her run.
Let's go, Emily!
And that was Emily coming through with a 48.38. That's a 48.38. From Onekama, this is Nato working his way down on the GS course. And Chase Camerack waiting for his start up on top, but I believe Chase is at DNS today. And it looks like Evan Campbell waiting for his start up on top. And Nato coming through at the time of 22.75, 22.75. And this is Willa Lampa waiting for her start up in top, Glen Lake. Evan Campbell on course on the GS side, and Philip Putney waiting for his start up on top. Leah Thompson waiting for her start while Willa Lampe is on course. Just coming to the finish line here, Evan Campbell with a time of 25.27. That's a 25.27. Philip Putney waiting for his start up on top. Willa Lampe making her way down the hill. And Leah Thompson waiting for her start from Onekama. Looks like Willa Lampe coming through the finish line here with a time of 42.24. That's a 42.24. Philip Putney coming through with a time of 24.17. 24.17. And Hogan Walter from Clare waiting for his start up on top. On course for the women, Leah Thompson. And waiting for her start, Haley Skunk from Clare. Again, this is Hogan Walters on course for Clare, taking his second run. And Leah Thompson is on course, working on the slalom side. Little problem through the rhythm section there. This is Hogan Walter.
Got it, Leah!
Hogan coming through 25.95, 25.95. Landon Tennant on course and waiting for a start up on top, Jackson Bryan. Just finished over on the women's side, Leah Thompson 59.65, 59.65. Haley Shunk on course for Clare, waiting for her start on top, Mariah Mosier. This is Jason Bryant from Clare on course. And Jeremiah Quist from Onekama waiting for his start. Haley Shunk on course and working her way through the rhythm side. And Maria Mosier waiting for her start up on top from Benzie Central. Jackson making it exciting, coming through with a 24.95. That's a 24.95. Haley came through with a 38.99. That's a 38.99. Mariah on course. Sasha Gavel on course. It's Mariah on one side and Sasha on the other side. Sasha just finishing his run, 25.12. That's a 25.12. Maria had just finished her course with a 38.90. That's a 38.90. It looks like Elena Grant waiting for her start up on top. On course, Preston Bailey from Clare. And Dawson Aldridge waiting for his start from Clare. Preston coming through with a time of 26.61. That's a 26.61. Dustin Aldrich waiting for his start up on top. Lena Grant is on course. Simone waiting for her start up at the top, and Silas Donaldson from Clare waiting for his start. Dawson, check that. Elena just finished her time, 48.16. That's a 48.16. Dawson Aldrich still on course. And he's doing a little hiking, and that's all a good thing. Simone on course also, waiting for their starts up on top. We've got Silas Donaldson waiting on the GS course. And Elsa Carter waiting on the slalom course. Dawson coming through, 46.25, 46.25. Silas Donaldson on course. Jace Jolly waiting for his start. And Elsa Carter waiting for her start. Elsa just on course, and Simone finishing up 44.08. That's a 44.08. Silas working his way down, coming through with a time of 26.36. 26.36. And this is Jace Jolly waiting for his start up on top. And Elsa Carter working her way through the rhythm section of the slalom course. Elsa coming through at the time of 42.04. That's a 42.04. And online, that's Annabelle Ackley. Annabelle skiing out of Glen Lake, and over at the other side, Jace Jolly just finished up. Time of 32.73. 32.73. James Brown waiting for his start up on top. And over on the women's side, Annabelle from Glen Lake on course. And waiting for her start up on top, Bianca. James Brown making his way to the finish line, and James coming through with a time of 26.62, 26.62. Elijah Wentworth waiting for his start. And Annabelle just finished her run with a 52.45. That's a 52.45. Bianca Tito on course. Bianca from Anekama. We're getting very close to finishing up our men's run over there on the GS side. This is Elijah Wentworth taking his second run. And this is Bianca working her way through the rhythm section, heading towards that flush. Over on the chair side, Elijah coming through with a time of 28.17. That's a 28.17. And Bianca comes through on the tree side with a time of 58.14. That's a 58.14. From Anekama, Reese Teal is on course. Reese coming through.
What happened?
That's Chloe Wiesland on course on the women's side. We've got an open course on the men's side.
Nice job, Chloe.
And we are close to running out of gentlemen on that GS side. We're just about wrapped up for our first run of giant slalom.
Does the course suck too?
And over here on the women's side, Chloe Wiesen finished with a 47.27, 47.27.
Right between the first and the second gate.
Holly Riley is on course. And Annabelle Hansen waiting for her run.
I did, and then I couldn't get my keys turned right. I had them turned, and then I did that, and I was like, oh. I didn't have too high hopes. I felt all right. Whatever. Hard to rip on. Oh, man. So next racer, oh, really? Oh, man. She was so nice. She was just talking to me. Yeah, she did the TSA. We'll find her. Yep. Yes.
And this is Riley, Holly Riley working her way towards the finish line.
Come on, Holly!
Holly coming through with the time of 1:21.45. That's a 1:21.45. Annalise Hansen from Clare on course.
Which I get. I was trying not. I didn't feel like I was weekend. I didn't think you did. Like when you were coming down, I didn't. My downhill was just falling right away from me. But it's hard when it's on that ice wall. You feel like that's because you can't stop your downhill. Right. I was trying. I really was. And I was trying to do it over here. I think I slowed got down back here. I have to go to the bathroom to wait and catch her. Oh, you're where I.
Annalise coming through with a time of 56.91. That's a 56.91.
He just said, you just need more experience. The line's great. You're like, dude, I just got a 47. Like, thanks. But you didn't do it your freshman year, right? No, it was just sophomore. I learned how to ski my sophomore year. Yeah.
Adam Putney, if you could please stop at the finish shack. Again, Adam Putney, could you please stop down at the finish shack? John Casbin, if we could have you stop at the finish area. John Casbin. And this is Piper Putney, just on starting on the slalom course. Piper skiing for Onekama on her second run. Wrapping things up, we got a couple of men left to get plugged in here and checking our score sheets, and we'll get ready for the men to switch over to slalom. Women are still got a few left over here on the slalom side. And this is Piper Putney on course. And this is Piper Putney working her way to the finish line. women's side, 48.97. That's a 48.97. And just a couple more women to wrap through, and again, we'll be switching over. Men will be heading over to the slalom side, women heading over to the GS.
How else to switch it? I don't know if I go
when you actually
down.
watch it, it looks different. When I tried to do stuff last year with pictures and stuff, it just, with all the lights on, it washes
It's so
a lot of the
dark.
color out. Yeah. But it is what's good. I bet if it were an afternoon.
It'd be great if it was afternoon. And I can't figure out how to.
And this is Sydney Bentley on course. And just a couple more women, and again, we'll be wrapping up this first run.
Because my legs are absolutely. I didn't even like work out that time. Oh my gosh, that is so adorable. I love that. Really?
Come on, Sydney!
Woo! 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 Yes, it! Good job, nice job, Sydney!
Sydney coming through with a 103.17. That's a 103.17. Brooklyn Tinko ready for her start. Actually, Brooklyn on course. And Megan waiting for her start.
Yeah, she told me that it's kind of crazy.
Hey, good job.
This is Brooklyn Tinko from Claire finishing up 58.32. 58.32. Megan Bethlen on course. And it looks like Riley Smith waiting for her start up on top.
Come on, Megan! Let's go, Megan! Woo! Hopefully she heard this.
Well, when I stood up there when I was flying, she said she heard me both ways.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, yeah. Come on, Megan! Woo! Good job!
Megan coming through with a time of 59.24. That's a 59.24.
If you guys need me to bring them home, I can drop them off.
Again, as we're getting ready to wrap up this first run, I'd send all athletes up to the top to inspect. Again, all athletes, you should be heading up to the top. We're going to be taking a quick break here momentarily as we finish up on both sides and giving you a moment to inspect, give the coaches a moment to do some course repair, and we'll get this going again. Again, all athletes, please head back up to the top for inspection and maybe helping the coaches do a little course repair. We will get our second set going here in just a few moments. This is Riley Smith working her way through the rhythm section.
stay forward part. It's huge. Oh, yeah. Forward. So,
Riley finishing up with a 53.87. That's a 53.87.
so you're not really edging. So we watch the boys, you see, they're really far forward. You watch them put their speed, yeah. So you're edging from that tip to the tail, and you're in that seat, really. For the second red gate.
Second gate, when I feel like
Yeah. Yeah.
it's fun.
Yeah, it's yeah.
I can't see.
It was at second gate.
Yeah, it's
Nice to have
Kurt was standing beside me.
Ankle, it counts.
Huh?
It counts.
Yep, they work. I'm gonna use the restroom.
It looks like we've got all of our skiers through for their first 2 runs on slalom and GS. Again, all athletes, please head to the top of the hill for inspection. Coaches, if you could accompany the athletes, we're also looking at doing a little course repair, and we'll try to get the race going here in the next 20 minutes or so. I've just been told 15 minutes is what we're opening up for here.
Buddy, I went through those woods. There's buck legs, and I went through buck legs.
It is coming up on 7 o'clock. At 7:10, we are going to be starting the race again. So, again, all athletes, if you want to inspect that second course, please head to the top of the hill. Coaches, if we can get you to head up there just to do a little bit of course maintenance. And again, we'll be ready to switch and get the second part of this race going.
Yeah. A bush up.
Wait, are you close to the thing? What do you mean? Fred? Fred, those are too small. Look, mine are taller. Fred. In order for you to properly turn it upside down, you need to have your arm at a 90. Like that. See? Look at the ground. My arm's at a perfect 90. Where's arm?
It's not a big deal.
It's fine.
She's just gonna grow taller.
Hey, Jane, I use smaller poles.
Fred's still growing.
No, it's fine.
But shush. When he gets taller, then he'll get taller. Otherwise, you spend a lot of
Yeah.
money trying to keep up with how fast kids grow.
Yeah, he grew 2 inches over Christmas Day.
For Christmas break, you are in that stage. How tall are you? 5'8".
I'm 5'8". I'm 5'8". You are not 5'8".
How tall is your brother?
6 months.
Yeah, you're gonna grow some more.
I don't know. I'm like right around 5. Fred's 5 inches taller.
I'm 5'8".
Hey Nola, your mom and dad are not tall though.
I'm on a hill. And like, none of these are.
I don't know if you're 5'8" or not. Here, you guys are back your job.
No, it's not. I'm good at my job.
Fred, you killed me.
You're a sucker.
Killed me.
It's not my problem I had to go to Grand Rapids today. I do. It's not a great course, and my Achilles unexpectedly popped on me.
We'll see. Are you supposed to go slow?
I'm slipping on my own. It's the same course we ran yesterday. Pretty much. No, it is. He just moved like 1 gate. That's the relay gate. That's the thing. That's where he moved it. He moved it right to line. See, in kind of like this.
The red one. So I don't think someone did that.
I've never went down board.
You've never gone on board.
Again, both courses open for inspection, but we're going to make this very fast as we want to get back to racing. All high schoolers, you should be up on top getting that second look, and we're going to get this race started in 10 minutes. Again, try for a 7:15 restart.
Yes, sir. I gotta get up there.
No, I just got here a little bit ago. Like I just saw like the end of the boys and the girls.
Right now they're slipping the hill, inspecting it, and they will get ready to run the second race. I'm hoping you guys can see because we don't know how to adjust it any better with all the lights.
Tim, could you come to the finish shack? Tim, if you're right there, can you come to the finish shack, please? Tim Gariglio, please come to the finish shack. Come on, Tim.
Let me stop it a sec. Okay, we just needed somebody who knew what to do. Hopefully this is brighter. You can see a little bit better. They're getting ready to start ladies GS and men's slalom in about the next 10 minutes.
The brightness is only for eyes. I think
Oh,
it stays
crap.
the same amount of.
No, we're gonna watch a minute. I gotta call Ryan and tell him I just restarted it.
I think that.
Hold on, let me call Ryan. We were trying to figure out how to make it brighter. Well, I stopped the video and Addie is here. because the in between right now they're slipping. So I don't know if you have to post it again or if I just messed up by stopping it. But yeah, we stopped it. It's running again, and we're getting ready to start. Okay. Okay. Yeah, they got the girls. Only about 2/3 of the way up, talking right now. Okay, so yep, it is running. Okay. Is it still dark or is it brighter on your end? Oh, good. Okay. Okay. Awesome. Thank you so very much. Have a great night, Ryan. All right. Bye-bye. Technology. She said about an hour ago, she said, go find one of the kids.
If you need a teenager,
Oh, thank you, Bill. Yeah, sit on that. It's so much warmer. So good on that. Danny was the one that did it. She's like, you stand on carpet or cardboard? And yeah, it
insulates.
insulates the whole
I'm gonna give you this before I
Okay, hold on.
forget. I gave you Carol to order down yesterday for a basket.
Adam Putney, can you stop by the finish area?
Once she got her boot on, then it was like I knew what I needed to do, and then she would. She had that.
All athletes, you should be heading to the top of the hill. All athletes, top of the hill. Adam Putney, if you could stop by the finish shack, please. Again, all athletes, head to the top of the hill. Adam Putney, if you could stop by the finish shack, please. Adam Putney, if you can hear my voice, please stop in at the finish shack. Adam Putney. All skiers should be heading to the top of the hill. Adam Putney, if you're down at the bottom of the hill, please stop at the finish shack. Mr. Gaylord.
What'd you do again? Did you go
I did 4x10 sumo squats with 35 pounds. I should have known, but I did it, okay? And I don't regret actually.
As we are gearing up for our second round here, I'd like to remind all of our parents and participants that live timing, the results are being posted even as I talk. Again, for that first set of runs, live timing is the place to check, and you can find out just exactly how everyone's standing. We're moving into the second event here. Women are moving over to the GS, men moving to the slalom course. Again, all athletes should be at the top of the hill waiting for their start.
Terrible.
All athletes, you should be at the top of the hill waiting for your start.
Sure no one wants to come and sit by me.
I'm sure I probably would not. Actually, I could your butt. You have to hit that green button. It says record. She ain't recording.
No, guys, it's not that. The school has to restart the video.
I was thinking about that more actually.
Did you see this?
Okay, he says I see. Ryan says he said there's a between us and them. That stuff is
It's a code open. I don't know, I'm not really good at it. I'll do it.
He's like, I bet Jesse is out there on the slope somewhere.
All athletes, you should be at the top of the hill. Parents, if your athlete is standing there talking to you, they're in the wrong place at the wrong time. I'd like to get the race started again. Again, all racers, top of the hill, our gatekeepers are in position. We are ready to rumble.
Woo! Ivy, that was an awesome run. I got so late. I was like, I don't know what your time was, but it was like 20. Nice job. Hey, listen, 2 more seconds.
Dad, straight up, he came up to me. He was like, so I was doing this because my headphones started to come down. I was like, he came up to me. He was like, what are you doing? I was like, nothing. And he was on this side, so I was like, please don't see this. Because he'd make me take it off. Okay. Job, great. That course is so bad. It's so bad.
We smoked it, that's all I gotta say. Nice job, Grace.
And this is Anna Wolf on course on the GS course. Jenna Woodworth waiting for her start up on top. Brogan Russell on course on the slalom course. And it looks like Aiden O'Dwyer waiting for his start up on top. Again, our conditions somewhat challenging tonight, but remembering having snow is a treat in terms of the rest of the state. Many resorts are not racing right now. So it's great that Crystal's got the snow we need to have the fun we need racing right here at Buck. And on course, this is Jenna Woodworth from Clare. Anna Wolf finished with a 22.44. That's a 22.44. Unfortunately, Jenna has lost a ski, it looks like. That's going to be a DNF over there as she is out of her equipment. Aiden O'Dwyer on course on the slalom side. Braden Sorensen from Onekama waiting for his start up on top. And Aaliyah Blackmore waiting for her start up on top. Fortunately, Jenna Woodward was a DNF on that first run. And finishing up, Aiden O'Dwyer, 32.17, 32.17. Braden Sorensen ready for his run. Aaliyah Blackmore waiting for her start. Braden on course. Jaden Thompson waiting for his start up on top. Willa Murray waiting for her start. And Aaliyah Blackmore on course. We've got a skier down on the slalom side. That looks like Braden Sorensen rolling down the hill. Can't see well enough to see if equipment is still on. We'll see if he's back on course. Aaliyah Blackmore having a good run though and coming through with a time of 21.96. That's a 21.96. Yeah, it looks like Braden Sorensen is putting equipment back on up there. We'll see if he's back in course. We're going to take that as an affirmative that he is still a legal pass here.
Brogan. Come on, Braden! And Braden.
And then we're giving Braden Sorensen a 50.35. That's a 50.35, assuming that that ski equipment did not come off on the hill. Willa Murray came through 21.77. 21.77. Savannah Peck waiting for her. Check that. Savannah Peck is on course. Cassidy Allen is waiting for her start. Jaden Thompson on course. Mike Palmerville from Clare waiting for his start. Those boys are attacking that slalom course, and it's not giving them much quarter as we've got another boy hiking right in that same area. Savannah Peck finishing up 22.68. That's a 22.68. It looks like Jaden Thompson is going to be a DNF as he is skiing off our course. And that is a DNF for Braden. Okay.
Is that Cassidy?
Sorry, guys.
It's okay. It's okay. I turned.
The recorder's okay.
Yeah. Right.
And unfortunately, Braden, that was a disqualification as he did lose a ski up there in the shadows. Cassidy Allen finished for us over there in the GS with a 24.03. And Brecken Cotter waiting for her start. Ben Stoops waiting for his start, and Mike Palmerville from Clare on course. Again, these boys are attacking this slalom course and finding it's got a fair amount of swing up there on top. nice run at it, coming through the rhythm here with a lot of speed and looking for the final flush. Michael coming through with a great time of 30:36, 30.36. Ben Stoops from Benzie Central on course. Luke Smith from Anequa waiting for his start. Breckin Cotter from Anequa just finished on the women's side, 23:61, 23.61. Jacqueline Hearn from Glen Lake waiting for her start.
Okay, I see you.
This is Ben Stoops working his way down through the rhythm section.
Thank you. Thank you.
Ben coming through with a 31.63. That's a 31.63. And Luke Smith on course. Colin Casbin waiting for his start up on top. Jacqueline Hearn finished with a 22.95. Emily Fauci on course. And Serenity Baldridge waiting for her start. This is Luke Smith working his way down through the rhythm, and over there on the TS course, that's Emily Fauci. Serenity Baldridge waiting for her start, and Colin Casbin waiting for her start. Just through Luke Smith, time of 32.27, 32.27. Emily Fauci had that 23.99, and Serenity Baldridge waiting for her start. Ethan Rogers up on top waiting for his start. Colin Casbin on course. Annika Haig also waiting for her start up over there for Anequa. And on course, Serenity Baldridge from Clare. This is Colin Casbin working his way towards the finish line. Colin coming through with a time of 32.94. That's a 32.94. Ethan Rogers from Clare on course. Serenity finished 23.75, 23.75. Annika Haig from Anequa on course. And Bridget Duncan from Glen Lake waiting for her start. Miles Luther over here on the men's side waiting for his start. Ethan Rogers working his way down.
So like right there is this is on
Let's go, Annika!
Annika working her way towards the finish line, coming through with a time of 27.23. That's a 27.23. Ethan Rogers comes through with a 36.95. That's a 36.95. Miles Luther waiting for his start on top. Bridget Duncan on course, and Elsa Carter waiting for her start. Bridget working her way to the finish line, and Elsa Carter will be entering the course. Bridget with a time of 22.73. That's a 22.73. Elsa Carter on course. Ellie Shunk waiting for her start. Miles Luther on course on the slalom side. Miles working hard and coming through with a 32.75. A 32.75. And Travis Hewing from Anequa on course. Ethan Nowak waiting for his start on top. Just finished Elsa Carter with a 30. Check that, 25.04. 25.04. From Claire, Haley Shunk waiting for her start. And Leah Thompson waiting for her start. Ethan Nowak from Glen Lake waiting for his start on top. And Travis Huey on course.
Hi, Travis! Woo! Let's go, Travis! Woo! Good job, Travis!
Travis finishing up 33.01, 33.01. And Haley Shunk finishing up with a 24.06. It's a 24.06. Leah Thompson from Anequa waiting for her start. On course for the men, Ethan Nowak. And up on top waiting for his start from Claire, Tristan Strauss. This is Leah Thompson just entered the course. Haley finished with a time of 24.06. And Willow Lampe waiting for her start up on top. Ethan Nowak working his way through the rhythm here, heading towards the flush, and he'll be followed down the hill by Tristan Strauss. Ethan coming through with a time of 34.70. That's a 34.70. Tristan Strauss on course. Keegan Payne in the hole. Over here on the women's side from Glen Lake, Willow Lampe waiting for her start. Leah Thompson just finished 29.99. 29.29. That's a 29.29. This is Willow Lampe on course. Maria Mosher ready for her start up on top.
I don't know. I mean, maybe it's like
This is Willa Lampe. Willa coming through with a time of 24.92. That's a 24.92. Tristan with a time of 41.42. That's a 41.42. Keegan Payne waiting for his start. And Mo over there on the other side waiting for her start. Mo is on course and Simone is waiting for her start. Jamie Riley waiting for his start over on the men's side and Keegan Payne on course. And just finishing up, Mo comes through with a time of 24.49. That's a 24.49. Keegan Payne working his way towards the finish line here. Keegan coming through with a time of 50.36. That's a 50.36. Jamie Riley on course, waiting for the start up on top. Sasha. And over here on the women's side, Simone from Claire is on course. Elena Grant waiting for her start. Simone coming through with a time of 27.24. That's a 27.24. This is Jamie Riley on course. Jamie coming through with a 37.59, 37.59. Sacha Gabo on course. And Evan Campbell waiting for his start. This is Elena Grant over here on the GS side. Althea Gaylord waiting for her start up on top. Elena coming through 29.30. That's a 29.30. Althea Gaylord on course. Cole Wiesand waiting for her start. Evan Campbell waiting for his start. Finished up down there, Zacha with a time of 43.46. It's a 43.46. This is Evan Campbell on course. And Nano Andra on deck. This is Althea Gaylord working her way to the finish line. Althea coming through with a 27.36. 27.36. Cole Wiesand waiting for her start. And Evan Campbell working his way through the rhythm section of the slalom. Nana Anjara waiting up on top for his start. And Bianca Rosito is waiting for her start over on the women's side. Evan came through 43.79. That's a 43.79. Nano on course. Macy Duncan waiting for his start. Bianca Rosito on course. And Chloe Wiesand just finished 28.92. 28.92 on that GS run. Bianca is on course, waiting for her start up on top. Annabelle Ackley from Glen Lake. This is Nano Anjari working his way through the rhythm section of the slalom course. And Nano comes through with a time of 37.35. 37.35. Bianca, that's a 31.38. Bianca, that was a 31.38. Annabelle Ackley waiting for her start. And Hogan Walter waiting for his start. And Philip Putney up there in the start gate waiting for his start. While Hogan Water is on course. Annabelle Ackley on course. And Annalise Hansen waiting for her start. Bianca finished that last run with a 31.38. And just finished finishing up Annabelle with a time of 28.84. That's a 28.84. Hogan coming through with a 41.94. That's a 41.94. Philip Putney waiting for his start up on top, and Annalise Hansen just on course. Holly Riley is waiting for her start up on top. And over on the men's side, that looks like Macy Duncan waiting for his start. On course right now is Philip Putney. It's a finish line. Philip Putney also right there working his way towards the flush, and Annalise coming through first with a 40.79. That's a 40.79. Philip coming through with a time of 42.14. Macy Duncan on course, and Hogan Walter waiting for his start. Holly Riley is on course for the women, and Abby Royd is waiting for her start. Holly coming through with a time of 26.68. That's a 26.68. And Abby Boyd on course. Piper Putney up on top waiting for her start. This is Macy Duncan on course. Landon Tennant waiting for his start up on top. And Macy coming through with a time of 47.67. That's a 47.67. Abby Boyd coming through with a 31.76. It's a 31.76. Piper Putney on course. Brooklyn Zinko waiting for her start up on top. Over on the men's side, Landon Tennant on course.
Come on, Piper!
And Dawson is up there waiting for his start.
Come on, Piper! Good job!
Piper finishes with a time of 28.12. That's a 28.12. Brooklyn Zinko on course, and Sydney Bentley waiting for her start. Dawson Adich, we are on course.
Good job, Landon.
And Silas Donaldson waiting for his start up on top on the men's side. This is Brooklyn Zemko you're seeing on the GS side working her way towards the finish line. Sydney Bentley waiting for her start up on top. Brooklyn coming through with a time of 40.31. That's a 40.31.
Couple times I thought I got it.
And Dawson working his way through the finish line comes through with a 42.34. 42.34. This is Silas Donaldson ready to enter the course, and Sydney Bentley on course on the GS side. Riley Smith from Clare up waiting for her run, and Jackson Bryant waiting for his run.
Come on, Sydney!
Sydney Bentley coming through the finish line with a time of 34.03. That's a 34.03. And Riley Smith now on course. Megan Bentham waiting for her start. Jackson Bryant waiting for his start. And just finishing up, Silas Donaldson coming through our finish line with a time of 43.66. That's a 43.66. Riley Smith comes through with a time of 30.32. That's a 30.32. Fortunately, Jackson is going to be a DNF as he's lost equipment up there on the hill. And Megan is on course on the GS side. Leanne Renaud waiting for her start up there.
Come on, Megan!
Preston Bailey from Clare also waiting on his start.
We should be going last.
We got Kendall Parsons waiting for her start up on top. I think Kendall might be the last racer for the women on that first run. Again, all women, if you've not taken that first run, you need to be up at the top right now. Again, Kendall Parsons waiting for her start, and I think she is the final female competitor for that first run in GS. Over on the other side, Preston Bailey waiting for his start. Silas Donaldson finished his run with a 43.66. It's a 43.66. We're waiting on Kendall Parsons over on the GS side. Kendall is on course. And Preston Bailey working his way down. Up on top waiting for the start, Jace Jolly from Clare also waiting. And again, skiers, it'll be a brief delay for timing down here, but we're going to flip over really quick this time and remind all skiers back to the top of the hill for that second run. We'd like to finish this race before Crystal closes her doors tonight. Again, all skiers, please head to the top for that second run. Right now we have Jace Jolly waiting for his run over from Clare. Just finished the women's side.
It's 7.
Which, I mean, he fell. He still got 50. He fell late. That looks like that. At the start, it's worse than any other start. Really? Yeah. The whole top is like bad. And the very first heat.
And we've got our women switched over and ready to go. Willa Murray is going to be our first racer for that second run over on the GS course. Chase Jolly is still finishing up for the men on the men's side. James Brown up there waiting for his run. We're going to keep everybody running as quickly as possible here and see if we can't get off the hill before the Crystal Mountain closes her doors tonight. Again, this is Willa Murray from Glen Lake making her second run. Chase came through the 50.33. That's a 50.33. Willa came through with a great second run. Willa, you had a 21.77 and then a 21.81. Very, very consistent racing. Total of 43.58 for Willa Murray. Puts her currently in first place. Of course, she's the only one in first place. Aaliyah Backmore on course. Aaliyah chasing down a 21.96. She comes down with a 21.41. 21.41. Just a couple great runs from our competitors there. Anna Wolf on course. And just finishing up, James Brown with a time of 44.42. That's a 44.42. Elijah Wentworth from Clare on course. And we're getting very close to restarting the men's over there. It looks like Reese is going to be our first skier. Check that. I think Reese is with the B team in the final of our men's side. Anna Wolf finishing up 21.61. That's a 21.61. And Jacqueline Hearn on course. Brecken Cotter waiting for her start up on top. Elijah Wentworth working through the rhythm section here. Jacqueline Hearn came through the 22.70. That's a 22.70. Brecken Cotter waiting for her start. Reese on course. Mrs. Breckin Connor on course, and we've got Cassidy Allen waiting for her start. Finishing up over here for the boys, Reese Keel. Oh, and unfortunately catches a ski in the beginning of the flush. Looks like we might have a gate down. No.
Are you okay?
And he decides not to hike even though he took that gate out. Gatekeepers, we're going to need a little help. Again, if we can hold the men's course, put a hold on the men's course. Gatekeepers, we've got a gate down.
Brecken, I got a really cute
Brecken, here, I'll take them. Here.
You didn't get the part where my head slid into the snow. I know, my shoulder. Is that because of the ruts? No, I'm good.
Quick course repair there. We'll have the men racing in no time at all. This is Savannah Peck. On course, Cassidy Allen just finished her run with a 24.01, 24.01. Savannah Peck coming through with a 22.68. That's a 22.68. Savannah, you tied your first run. You had two 22.68s, two fourth place finishes, and a final result of fourth place finish. Pretty remarkable racing there for Savannah Peck. 22.68, 22.68. Total of 45.36. Bridget Duncan on course. Annika Haig waiting for her start up on top. Jaden Thompson from Glen Lake waiting for his start. Looks like our course repair is taken care of, and we'll open that men's side back up. This is Jaden Thompson. Had a DNF on that first run, but he's going to take his second run. And Annika Haig on course. Bridget Duncan finished her run 22.87. 22.87. Let all our parents and student athletes know that as we finish the race tonight, our timer extraordinaire, John Casman, will sort races so that Claire is included in the race, and will also take Claire out of the race so that we can still have our conference race. You'll see that was an interesting DQ on that course. Graydon Thompson just decided to launch himself off one of the berms and take a quick route through the flush.
Oh, I didn't get it.
Here's the review did.
I hope he did.
Again, unfortunately, Jaden Thompson, that was a DQ as he didn't quite make all the gates on there at the bottom. Actually, a DNF. Braden Sorensen on course, and Aiden O'Dwyer waiting for his start. Annika finished up 1:10.07, a 1:10.07. Serenity Baldwin waiting for her start.
Oh, yeah. Shoulder.
Put out a huge request to all of our parents and athletes that as we wrap up tonight, we could use all the help you're willing to give us. Gates and everything. Come on,
Braden, you got it! You got it, come on, woo!
Tonight, so again, parents and athletes,
Good
come
job!
to the event and help us get things off the hill. That would be hugely appreciated. Serenity Baldridge just finished up 23.71. That's a 23.71. Before her, Annika had a time of 1:10.07. And on course right now, Emily Fauci. Willow Lampy waiting for her start up on top. Aiden O'Dwyer on course. This is Colin Casbin waiting for his start up on top. Aiden making nice work of the rhythm section here, getting ready for the final flush. And comes through with a great time of 32.10. That's a 32.10. And your first run was a 3:2.17. That's pretty remarkable skiing there. Very, very consistent from our young athlete. Colin Casbin on course. Willow Lampe waiting for her start. Emily Fauci finished 23:26. That's a 2:3.26. On course, Colin Casbin. Colin working hard, coming through the finish with a 32.68. That's a 3:2.68. Great run for Colin. Luke Smith on course. Ben Stoops waiting for his start. Leah Thompson waiting for her start. And Willow Lampe just finished up 24:38. 24.38. This is Leah Thompson just entered the course. Ellie Shunk waiting for her start up on top. And Ben Stoops waiting for his start. And this is Luke Smith from Anequa coming down through the rhythm.
Let's go, Luke! Come on, Luke, you got it! Now, Luke!
Doing a nice job at the finish there. 32.19. That's a 32.19.
Let's go, Leah!
Ben Stoops on course. Mike Palmerville waiting for his start. And Haley Shunk waiting for her start. Leah Thompson finished with a 29.57. That's a 29.57. Elsa Carter waiting on her start on top. Ben Stoops making a great finish at 31.49. That's a 31.49. And Brogan Russell on course. Haley Shunk had a 23.93. Haley, that was a 23.93. From Benzie, Elsa Carter on course. Elena Grant from Glen Lake waiting for her start. Ethan Nowak waiting for his start over on the men's side. And Brogan Russell on course. Also coming through with a 24.94. That's a 24.94. Elena Grant waiting on her start. Ethan Nowak on course. And Travis Huey waiting for his start. Fortunately, Ethan taking a little break there, but he is still on course and he's back on. Coming through with a 39.29, that's a 39.29. And Elena Grant came through with a 28.38, that's a 28.38. Simone is waiting on a start up on top, and Travis Huey just entered the course. Miles Luther is waiting for his start up on top. Miles from Bitsy Central. Simone just entered the course.
Let's go, Travis! What? Come on, Travis! Let's go, Travis, you got it! Woo! Let's go, Travis!
Travis working his way to the finish line, coming through at a time of 32.02. Check that, 33.02. A 33.02. And Miles Luther on course. Ethan Rogers waiting for his start. And it looks like Mo Mosher is on course from Bitsy Central. Annabelle Ackley waiting for her start up on top. Mike Palmerville waiting for his start. Miles Luther coming through his finish, and Miles coming through with a time of 33.14, 33.14. And that Mike Palmerville is on course. Mo came through with a time of 23.98. That's a 23.98. Annabelle Ackley on course, and Bianca Rizzito waiting for her start. Sacha Cabell Also waiting for the start up on top, and this is Mike Palmerville working through the flush right here at the bottom of the course. Mike coming through with a time of 30.85, 30.85. Sacha on course. And Annabelle Ackley working her way to the finish line comes through with a time of 28.67, 28.67. Bianca Rosito on course. Chloe Wiesen waiting for her start up on top. Jamie Riley waiting for his start up on top. And this is Sasha Gvell working his way through the rhythm section of the slalom.
Yes, Sasha!
Bianca coming through with a time of 30.94, 30.94. Sasha coming through with a time of 43.52. That's a 43.52. Jamie Riley on course. Keegan Payne waiting in the wings. And Chloe Wiesen on course. Althea Gaylord. Whoops, check that. Althea Gaylord is waiting for her start up on top.
Woo! Yeah!
Jamie coming through with a 37.20. That's a 37.20. Keegan Payne on course. Tristan Strauss waiting for his start. Althea Gaylord still waiting for her start. Chloe came through with a 27.72. That's a 27.72. Althea on course. Holly Riley waiting for her start.
Make sure. Oh, yes, okay. Just make sure he comes and sees me before you leave, so I know I got a face to face. That's fine. If you see him right afterwards, as soon as race over, I'll be in the timing tank.
Althea coming through with a time of 26.51. That's a 26.51. Holly should be next on course, and Keegan Payne finishing his course over here on the slalom side. Keegan with a time of 51.89. That's a 51.89. Ethan Rogers waiting for his start up on top. Ethan skiing with Claire. Again, a big shout out to all of our parents for helping tonight, and we're hoping you can stay and help get us off the hill tonight as we finish up rolling up fences and helping clean up the bottom of this. Again, we're running a little late tonight, and all the help we can get cleaning up would be hugely appreciated. Holly Riley finished up 26.52. 26.52. Annalise Hansen on course. Piper Putney waiting for her start. Ethan Rogers on course. And Macy Duncan waiting for his start. Ethan finishes up 36.52. That's a 36.52. Macy Duncan on course. Annalise Hansen working away to the finish, coming through with a 42.13. That's a 42.13. Piper Putney waiting on her start. Macy Duncan working his way through to the flush down here at the bottom. And Nano Hajara waiting for his start up on top. Macy coming through 48.87. That's a 48.87. Nano on course, and Tristan Strauss is waiting in the wings. Abby Boyd waiting up on top, and Piper Putney just finishing up down here below. Piper with a time of 27.61. 27.61. Abby Boyd on course. Sydney Bentley waiting for her run. Nano Hanjari on course and just coming into our flush. That leaves Tristan Strauss up on top waiting for his run. Nano coming through 36.32. That's a 36.32. Tristan on course. And Philip Putney is waiting for his start up on top. Abby Boyd finished with a time of 29.48. That's a 29.48. Sydney Bentley on course. And Brooklyn Simcoe waiting for her start.
Yeah.
working his way through the final flush here, and we're getting ready to release Philip Putney on course. Tristan coming through with a 41.34. That's a 41.34. And Philip Putney on course. Hogan Walter waiting for his start. Sydney Bentley working her way towards the finish line, and Brooklyn Simcoe waiting for her start. Sydney coming through at a time of 36.72. That's a 36.72. Brooklyn on course, and Megan Bentham waiting for her start. Hogan Walters also waiting for his start, and this is Philip Putney on course. Philip working through to the finish line, comes through with a time of 39.31. That's a 39.31. Hogan Walter on course. Brooklyn Simcoe working her way to the finish line, and Megan Bentham waiting for her start up on top. Brooklyn coming through with a time of 35.78. That's a 35.78. Megan on course, and Riley Smith waiting for her start up on top. Hogan Walter on course on the slalom side, and Landon Tennant waiting for his start up on top. Hogan working his way to the finish line here. Landon is in at the course. Hogan finishes 45.58, 45.58. Landon Tennant on course. And Riley Smith is on course on the GS side with Marion Renaud from Clare waiting for her start. Already had 2 runs. He doesn't get any more.
Oh, darn it.
Make it.
All right.
Like it. Oh, nope.
Got 2 separate runs. He is currently in 15th place.
Come on, Lan.
All right. Good job, buddy. You finished. Yay!
And that was Landon Tennant coming through with a 56.53, 56.53. Hogan Walter finished before him with a 45.58. And over on the women's side, Riley Smith at a 28.70, a 28.70. It looks like Marion Renaud is one of our last female contestants. We're getting very close to wrapping up tonight, folks. It's been a good night of racing. Again, we'd really appreciate it if our parents and student athletes can all stay and help get things pulled down tonight. It'll get everybody off the hill a little quicker. This is Kendall Parsons waiting on her start up on top. Riley Smith had a time of 28.70 for her finish. Over the mid side, we're still showing Hogan Walter, who has already finished the course, so we might be done over there. Again, last call for the men's side. Last call for the men's side. If you've not taken that second run, you were getting ready to miss it. Kendall Parsons comes through with a time of 25.84, 25.84.
Sunshine.
And this again is Hogan Walters. Looks like he's taking his third run. We'll straighten that out. But again, Hogan taking his run and coming through with that one with a 42.90. That's a 42.90 for Hogan. And we are starting to run a little low on participants here. Looks like the women's side is really close to being done. We'll put the 2-minute warning up on that. And men's side, we've got a couple left. This is Dawson Aldrich waiting on his run. Looks like our course is coming off the hill on the women's side.
And it's you. Oh my god. Look at it.
Everybody. We'll go out by you.
Kind of.
And this is Dawson. On course right now. And I believe again that we are pulling the women's course, and that is a wrap for the women.
It's colder down here.
That's Dawson Aldridge coming through at a time of 40.59. 40.59. This is Silas Donaldson on course.
I mean, we might go to state. Yeah.
Are there?
We went to state last year.
There's another boy going, but I don't know if
This is Silas Donaldson on course.
Yeah. Yeah.
Head up. Big it up there. Clean up. Do your falls down here.
Again, this is Silas Donaldson working his way down through the rhythm section. Our women are wrapped up for the night. We'll be having results posted almost immediately. Don't forget, livetiming.com will give you all the answers to tonight's questions. This is Silas Donaldson finishing up his run.
Good job.
Silas coming through with a 42.67. That's a 42.67. Jackson Bryant had a DNF on that first run, but taking a second run. This is Jackson Bryant working his way down through the rhythm section. We are running out of racers. Oh, there's a big crash over on the chair line. Running out of racers tonight. We'll be back next week, same time, same place. Come and join us again. It's been great fun having Tim and the Claire students join us for the racing tonight. Hopefully sometime in the future.